Hi there, my name is Andy. Welcome to Namaste at Home Yoga. And today's practice, we are going to be going through a little bit more of a mindfulness-based practice. We'll slow things down a little bit more, you might say traditional hatha style, and just put a little bit more thought, a little bit more focus into how these different postures feel, where we're activated, where we're not, where we're supported, those kinds of things. So to start with that slowing down, tuning in, we'll start by finding that comfortable cross-legged position. Just growing up nice and tall from the crown of the head, allowing hands to rest at the knees, maybe at the sides. And then if it's comfortable, softening the gaze, or maybe allowing the eyes to close. Here we start to quiet the mind, letting the rest of the day go for a while. And no doubt thoughts will start to make their way in. But just as easily as they pop into our minds, let them drift away. Turning the focus back to what your body is feeling, how your breath is flowing, or any other focus or mantra that you'd like to bring to mind today. Start to notice what's happening in the body as you breathe in and out. First noticing if there's any rise and fall at the belly, any expansion and relaxation at the ribs, maybe any lift and lower to the shoulders. Any tension or relaxation through the neck. And let's start to shift this to more of a breath in and out through the nose, keeping the mouth mostly sealed. Finding those slow breaths in, fill the belly, fill the chest. Exhale, finding that slow, even empty out. Holding on to the sensation or coming back to it as many times as you need through our practice today. For now, bringing hands to float through center, chin to chest as we softly open the eyes. Find our way back into a tabletop position. Here we'll allow shoulders to stack over wrists, hips to stack over knees, and first just connecting with our balance here. If there's a natural sway one way or another, maybe we want to put more weight into our knees or our hands. Connecting with that first. And then we'll start to move, finding that inhale to lift head, chest, and hips. Exhaling, press through hand and knees, rounding through the back. Inhale, belly drops, head, chest, hips rise. Exhaling, you round. One more, open that up. And exhale, round. Coming back through center, allow the hips to sink back towards heels, arms extend overhead, taking a child's pose. Forehead can come to rest on the mat, on stacked hands, or on a block, something solid. See if you can feel in each breath that big expansion to the belly. Exhale, letting somewhere relax. Where is up to you? You can kind of direct that, whether it's in the shoulders, in the arms, maybe even just so subtly in the forehead. Feel free to come back to this posture whenever you need as we make our way through. Next breath in, find your tabletop once more, and let's start to activate through the core here. Starting by bringing left arm, right leg, reaching forward and back, finding a nice long extended posture. Reaching through the fingertips and back with the heel. Think about containing that core, finding that nice long spine. Removing any of that arch that sometimes likes to come in through the back. Resting in that neutral spine. Using the natural curve. And exhaling, find your way back down. Beautiful. Second side, same thing here. Right arm, left leg. Go ahead and extend when you're ready. See if we can find that reach. Fingertips forward, heel back. Belly button draws in towards the spine. Core is engaged. Noticing if one side is maybe a little bit easier than the other. Feels a little bit more balanced. And exhaling, go ahead and bring that back to your mat. Take a moment here to find your way into a downward dog. Getting any little movements or adjustments that you might need here to settle in. And then sinking into this inverted V shape, spreading the fingers wide. Finding a bend to the knees. With an inhale, let's send that right leg high, just straight back behind you. Bring it as high as you can. Notice if you're starting to shift weight a little bit from side to side once more, or if that hip wants to open up right away. Squaring the hips back to the mat. Come back to that pressure through the hands. Even it out side to side. And go ahead and step forward between the hands. We'll drop that back knee and press up for our low lunge. Hands can float through center. Sinking in here, thinking about finding a little bit of a drop to the tailbone. If you don't immediately feel this, or right away feel this, in through the front of your left hip, bring yourself back a bit first. Think about tucking the tailbone down, and then begin to sink forward. So that tailbone continually reaches down, crown of the head, growing tall. See if you can breathe a little bit of space to that left hip. And staying here, if you wish, let's just bring it into a gentle twist today, bringing the left hand to the outside of the right leg, right hand to the low back. Shifting the gaze to the right side wall. Feeling the shoulders fall away from the ears. Feeling where there's pressure through the front foot, through the back leg. Noticing if this twist changes anything about our stretch. And finding your way back through center. We'll go ahead and frame that foot, step back, find your downward dog. We'll make our way into our second side, the left leg. Inhales to lift. Settling into that three-legged dog first. Leg goes as high as feels okay, and then we start to square the hips if they've opened. Drawing that left hip to point a little bit more towards the mat. Spreading our fingers wide, finding that balance, that even pressure side to side. Noticing where we're challenged here. And then bringing that forward, stepping between the hands. We'll drop that back knee, untuck the toes, press up, hands through center for that low lunge. Hanging out as you are. We're finding that small adjustment first. Shift back, tucking the tailbone, and sinking forward once more. We're making micro movements while we're here in this posture. They're just tiny, sometimes barely even noticeable. And that kind of pace is perfect. We're patient as we make our way through. The body will be a lot more responsive over time. Wonderful. Let's take one more breath here. And then once again, moving into that gentle twist, right hand can reach across the left leg. Left hand to the low back as we shift the gaze over to the side. Continually growing taller through that spine. Heavier through the tailbone. Smooth with that breath. Does it change when we're in a bit of a twist? Any other sensations jump out to you as different, new? And we'll find our way back through center, frame the foot, and step it on back. Find your downward dog. Let's start to walk the feet forward, meeting at the top of our mats in a forward fold. Really sinking in to this one today. Take a bend to the knees if you need it. Then really let the head go, maybe giving it a bit of a shake to help release some of that extra tension from the neck. You can start to walk the hands over towards the right leg or maybe right side of the mat. Noticing where the sensation shifts through the legs, through the hamstrings. Maybe into the calves. That's a new one. You can start to walk your way back through center, over to the left side. Same thing. Hands can rest at the legs, maybe on the mat. Always coming back to that deep, smooth breath. Beautiful. We'll find your way back through center, and since we're here, let's find a little bit more activation, finding a bit of external rotation through the legs, pressing strong through the feet. Hands can rest on the legs gently as we reach the crown of the head forward, staying here, or maybe finding more of that extended right angle, sweeping arms overhead, thumbs towards the sky. Where's that pressure going in your feet? Can we pull that core in a little bit more contained? Firm down through all of the toes here. And exhaling, gently release. Find your way back to your forward folds. And up to stand. We'll settle in to that nice tall spine. What an adventure that was. Feet resting about hip distance. Sweep the arms wide. Inhale. Exhale through center. And let's come to catch hips. Taking it into a little bit more of a balance. we'll shift over to the left leg. Inhale, right knee to chest. And maybe let's start with just a little bit of compression in the front of the right hip. Grabbing on for hamstring or maybe shin. Think about drawing the crown tall, shoulder blades back and down. You can stay as you are, or we'll start to extend here, kicking that leg away from you. Feel free to keep that grip on the hamstring, maybe using a strap if you have one available, but keeping that spine tall. Again, noticing where we are challenged. Maybe if there's a little bit of a shake telling us we're working hard. And gently exhaling, we release, finding your way back to the mat. Second side, we'll start with that gentle compression, knee to chest. Shifting weight over into the right foot. Inhale, left, knee to chest. Go ahead and find a grip that works for you. And some activation through the back. Crown is ever growing tall here. Pressure through that foot, ever steady, ever strong. Find that squeeze. And then staying as you are, or starting to extend the leg away. Maybe it's a fully straight leg here. Maybe the knee stays bent. Adjust this posture however you need to fit your body, meeting it where it's at in our practice today. Keep drawing that chest proud. Maybe finding a spot to focus on the wall. And then as you gently exhale, go ahead and release. Find your way back to the mat. Beautiful. Let's go for one more each side here. Stepping on to that left leg. We're going to send the right toes back behind us just a touch. Again, grow tall through the spine. Strong line from the crown of the head out that heel. And then over the next few breaths, we start to hinge at the hips. Arms can sweep back alongside the body, shoulder blades squeezing towards each other. Finding our toppling tree. Same as when we were in our tabletop warming up. We find that reach forward and back, helping us stabilize. Same as our three-legged dog, we're bringing hips square to the mat. Spine long. For 3, 2, and 1. Beautiful work. Come on, back up. Reset. Find your second side. Shift it over. We'll send the left toes back. At your own pace, making your way into your second side, toppling tree. Growing tall. Rooted through the foot, connect with that pressure. And then finding those opposing energies, reaching forward, reaching back. Hands may float back alongside the body. Finding that squareness of the hips. And then taking the next few breaths to really just feel what is going on here. Maybe balance is wanting to go one way or another. Feeling what's going on in the core, in the legs to stabilize. And as we inhale, we'll find our way back to stand. Releasing that foot down, and then take your time however you would like to. Use the hands as you need to find a comfortable seat. Let's bring a foot in towards the opposite inner thigh. Starting with a bit of opening for the side of the body here. Feel your sit bones grounded. We're going to continue to connect with that as we move through. Same hand can reach for that leg's shin, ankle, or peace fingers can grab for big toe. Inhale, other arm sweeps overhead. And as we exhale, we begin to fold. A little bit of extension through the side. And if the shoulder doesn't love this, of course, feel free to tuck that hand behind the head like a tricep stretch. But working with the breath, we'll go for a couple of things here. Notice with your inhales where we're feeling space. With the exhales, feeling where we're grounded, not just the sit bones, but through the back of our extended leg, maybe the outside edge of our bent leg here. Soaking that in for a couple more. Take an inhale, float through center. Exhaling, we release. Let's turn the belly button to face the big toe. Inhale, we'll sweep the arms overhead. Exhale, reaching it forward. Grabbing anywhere along the leg that's available. And maybe we find a gentle fold here. Again, just take time to notice. In our fold, is the breath moving a little bit differently, flowing a little bit differently? Has it changed where we're feeling ourselves grounded and strong on our mats? Noticing where we start to let go automatically with exhales, or where we're still holding on. And over your next couple of breaths, we'll make our way back up, switching sides. Other leg folds in. Once again, starting with our side bend here, we can reach same arm for the straight leg, ankle, or again, peace fingers to big toe. Inhale, other arm sweeps high. Exhaling, we fold. Feeling the breath, tuning in with it here. Feeling that groundedness, space, and where we feel on maybe this side compared to the other. Recognizing that they won't be exactly the same, and that's perfectly fine. Soaking in these sensations for a few more breaths. And we inhale to float back up. Exhale, release that down for a moment and turn your belly button to face that big toe once more. Moving into more of a forward fold. We'll inhale to sweep the arms high. Exhaling, we reach forward, grabbing wherever is available or letting the hands fall. And finding a gentle fold. Just connecting with where we find any stretch sensation. With that groundedness, through the sit bones, through the legs, pressing firm into the floor. Where does that breath start to create space? Where does it help us let go? Noticing that if the mind starts to wander, we can always bring it back by reconnecting with the breath or reconnecting with any of the sensations going on in the body right now. Soaking that in for 2 more. And then we'll take our time finding our way back up. And collect the legs in. And find your way onto your stomach, sending legs out behind you. You can start today by bringing hands under the shoulders. Shoulders down away from the ears. Untucking the toes. Let's start to slide the hands forward, so elbows stack under shoulders, setting up for Sphinx. Hips get heavy here, crown of the head reaching up and forward. Chest proud. Find that pressure through the hands, through the forearms, to bring that length to the spine. Maybe we take a moment to soften the gaze again or close the eyes to connect. In this posture, do we feel the belly moving with the breath? Do we feel ourselves sinking in or pressing away? Sitting with that for a moment. And gently releasing back down to the mat. You can sweep arms out to the sides. Pressing palms firm underneath the shoulders once more. Let's press through our tabletop. And send hips back towards heels. Find your child's pose. Staying as you were before, or taking your hands back farther past the heels, past the feet. Allowing the shoulders to round a little bit more here. Again, forehead can come to rest. Just feeling, noticing, without judgment, anything that might be going on here. And we allow ourselves to feel heavy. Maybe we feel an inclination towards stillness, or maybe to a little bit of movement. And take your time as you find your way up to a tall seat. You can sweep the legs out in front of you and gently find your way on to your back. You can start with a nice squeeze to the legs again. Shins or hamstrings. Give yourself a little rock. Noticing where you contact your mat, where you feel that nice little back massage. If it's a smooth roll, or maybe a little bit segmented today. And let's send the legs up towards the sky here, heels up, going straight up. And palms can press down on either side of the mat. If you prefer, feel free to bring the hands a little bit closer together under the hips. Keeping in mind that we want to keep that core so strong, back pressing down towards the mat. And if there's any discomfort in the low back, please modify however you need. As we exhale, we're going to lower to about 45 degrees. Find a couple of breaths here. Noticing as that core is fired up a little bit more, what changes in our breath. Any other sensations that come up. Next exhale, come down to a hover. Feeling the firmness of your back in the mat. And take an inhale, sweep back up. Once more through. We'll use an exhale, find that 45-degree angle roughly with the legs. Next exhale, we lower more to a hover. Strong breath. And exhale to release all the way. You can bring hands back open to either side. Send the arms overhead to get a nice big full body stretch. And then opening them up to a T or maybe to goalposts if you don't quite have space today. Okay. Inhale, knees towards the chest. We'll find a gentle twist here, allowing legs to fall over towards the right side of the room. Maybe allowing the gaze to fall left. And taking any other leg variation that you might know and love in a twist. Or just settling in, noticing how this twist sits in the body. Where we're still holding on, where the body is comfortable to let go. And giving the body a chance to let you know if a little bit more intensity or less intensity is what it needs today. Beautiful. Get strong through that core. Draw knees back through center. And with an exhale, slowly control over to the left. Maybe allowing gaze to fall right. Sitting with this for the next 5 or so breaths. Modifying as you need. We're just taking that time to simply listen. Once more, we'll get strong with that core. Draw yourself back through center. Find that squeeze. And take an exhale to drop forehead to knees. Full breath out. Try and empty those lungs all the way out. Before opening up to our final Shavasana. Taking up a little bit of space on your mat here. Sorry, dude. allowing stillness to find its way to you. Connecting a little bit further away this time, maybe on the hands, on the feet. Noticing if you can feel the temperature of the air. The texture of any surfaces that you are in contact with. Noticing if the feet, the palms are relaxed. As we return to the breath, if it's flowing a little bit fuller, a little bit smoother. We'll start to gently bring ourselves back by wiggling fingers, toes, maybe moving through wrists and ankles, rocking the head side to side, massaging up the base of the scalp. If you're feeling it, go ahead and take another full body stretch. And then we'll find our way over one side or the other, back up to a comfortable seat. Allowing ourselves to settle back in here. Checking in with any changes that may be present in the body or even in our mindset as we find our way back to the moment, back into our spaces and into the rest of our day. Let's take one big cleansing breath together here, filling up belly, chest, and a big sigh out the mouth. Hands can float back through center, chin to chest as we softly open the eyes, reorient to our space. Thank you so much for joining me for this mindfulness-based practice, and we will see you again soon. Namaste.